Greetings. This is SkySaunders Sing. What's current? Now, how did I even miss this story? Like, I looked at all the web zines, the hip hop quote unquote rap zines. They didn't say anything until I just saw it now with the most beautiful white woman in the world, maybe most beautiful woman in the world, definitely in America, Megan Kuniff. She is sexy as hell. She is very brilliant. She is smart. She is dedicated. I definitely am enamored by her. Not was simping. I'm just acknowledging. So this is a very delicate situation. Salute to Son of the Sun 90. He's saying he did it. I was just going to explain the story because nobody was talking about it until they came out with the money. I do love a snowflake. I like the pink toe. I like the women. I love the snow women, the snow bunnies. But anyway, this is a whole case. It's a civil case. It's not a criminal case, and it involves sexual assault and possible rape going against Soulja Boy, aka let me his name. Let me make sure I get his name right. I think it's the. Let me make sure I get it correct. I'll make sure I get his name right. DeAndre Cortez Way. Let's see if he goes through with all this. Let's see. I understand you completely, Andre. Okay, good to go. So this is a weird case. The money, as you can see in the title, it's nearly $75 million, $73.6 million to be exact. Now, does Soulja Boy have that? I highly doubt it. And if you try to go on the websites, even if you go on some of the best, sites for that collect people's net worth, he's looking at like 5 million or 10 million. The most I saw was 35 million. That was years ago. So, I mean, he probably gets residuals from Crank That and some of his albums that didn't do too well. They did pretty poorly. He has a slew of mixtapes. I don't know how much money he made off his mixtapes, but he's got some kind of money somewhere. But anyway, again, what happened in this case? Here we go with the glasses. What are we doing? Even the late great Tupac Shakur wore glasses in court. YSL, Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams wore glasses in court. Rakim Mayers, aka ASAP Rocky, wore glasses in court. Soulja Boy wearing glasses in court. What is this a thing? I just did a story on TK wore glasses in court. What is this? Their defense teams, and they say, look, man, you gotta wear glasses. The jury's gonna pick you up and say, oh, he's a very thoughtful person. He's very intellectual. He's a thinker. Because he has glasses on. Glasses should be banned. He should sell his catalog. Yeah, he probably will have to. He probably got 4 million, 5 million. Yeah, I would say there's somewhere in that range. Because I think he may have control over his masters, or he may have some kind of control over his publishing. Because, as Megan Kuniff pointed out, his songs are played in sports arenas. He probably gets residuals from that. I think he has video games and TV shows and movies that use his music. So whatever those residuals that come back for him, they're probably still not enough. I did not Google why they wear them. That's a good question, though. I'm going to see that right now. Why do defendants wear glasses in court? It states that jurors feel a defendant more... I just said that. They feel more intelligent, more intellectual when the defendant is wearing eyeglasses, which leads to fewer guilty verdicts. Hey, that's just part of the game. That's his game. Like I said, I was right for a chance. I pat myself on the back because I thought that's the thing. It's like you wear glasses. It's a weird thing with glasses because glasses are. I wear glasses. I have. I don't have them right now, but I have. I was wearing glasses a few days ago. So I'm stupid. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this YouTube stuff. I should have 200 million subscribers by now with billions of views. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing what I think is right. So if I were to wear my glasses, would that make me smarter? Oh, he's definitely more intellectual. He's a deep thinker. He's very much so. But that's the thing, though. They know that by just your mind is quicker than your subconscious is quicker than your conscious in a way. Your subconscious will say, "Wow, he's very intelligent. He's wearing glasses. That's interesting." Your conscious is like, "Come on, man, you wearing glasses? And like you don't wear glasses normally. Like it's not even a thing." But you wear glasses like in a quarter setting, and you become Einstein all of a sudden. It's weird, but anyway, I'm gonna play a short video from Miss Kunif, if you don't mind. I'm gonna play this.
A lot of really awful stuff. It's a rough case, and she is still testifying. She started testifying last week, and she testified today. Again, the cross-examination began today, and she's going to be back for more cross from Soulja Boy's lawyer tomorrow. But the defense on this is that this is consensual, that she liked him, and now she's
I guess the lawyer does.
She's making up stories about him to try to try to get money from him. But the testimony has been all about what went on when she was his assistant, and all these different things that she says happened. But it's a tough case. Like Hillel, the courthouse news service reporter, has seen a lot more of it than me. I just kind of saw the tail end of her direct exam today, and going to see more of her cross tomorrow. But I guess her lawyer actually is the same lawyer who represents Megan Thee Stallion's former photographer, Amelia.
So she's going into other cases, but I just am waiting on the day that they have, it's nothing with the suits. The suits are okay. You go to court wearing a suit and tie. That's just protocol. You're not going to come in there with Bermuda shorts and Hawaii and Aloha shirt. Wait, the lady talking is the one you like? Yes, she is the one I like. Yes, I like her very much. She seems like she can get a bag. She can get a big. I think she's gonna get a big bag from Law. What is it called? Law and Crime. I think she deals with them sometimes. She has like thousands of subscribers and followers. Megan Kunif, definitely. So definitely be on the lookout for her, because she's gonna be big one day. I'm telling you, she's already working her way up. She has a lot of accolades to her name. She started, her professional year, I think, professional reportage in Oregon, and then she covers mainly California cases now that I can understand. She covered the ASAP Rocky case that was in California. The Soulja Boy case is in California. So that is amazing to me. I'll get back to this later. But yeah, so it's not looking good for Soulja Boy. It's really not looking good for him. His comments and his rhetoric and the text messages and the messages that were sent. He's saying allegedly I should have killed you, and it was alleged that he beat her and stomped her and kicked her and spit on her and cut her. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty for the defense, but I don't know. He has a black lawyer. I don't know. The only black lawyer I know could really, help out in the cases was Johnny Cochran. And then there's this lawyer that Jamie Foxx played in a movie with Tommy Lee Jones. I can't even remember what the movie was called. Hold on, let me see. Tommy Lee Jones, Jamie Foxx, Tommy. The Burial. The Burial was based on a true story. Let me see. It was a lawyer named Willie E. Gary, a flashy personal injury lawyer. Willie E. Gary is somebody you should look up. He's still alive. He's 77 years old. He's a multi-millionaire. He has a high rate of wins, I'm sure, because that's how he got his millions. In 2000, Gary won a $240 million verdict against Disney for stealing the concept of the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, which is ironic now because Disney owns ESPN. That's weird. In 2019, a $23 billion case Gary won against R.J. Reynolds was overturned on appeal. The case stemmed from the death of Michael Johnson of Escambia County, Florida, in 1996, who died from lung cancer. A $23 billion case is overturned. Jesus. But anyway, I digress. We got to talk about Soulja Boy. Yes, let's talk about Teddy Riley's daughter. This isn't Teddy Riley's daughter. This is somebody different. This is a Jane Doe. She's not releasing her idea, but I did look up in an article, did my research, that Teddy Riley's daughter was a part of Soulja Boy's camp for a little while, and it was alleged that he had abused her as well. It was all alleged, though. Hold on. You like the wrong type of white women? What is the wrong type of white woman? What is the right type of white woman? Please let me know. What is the right type of white woman? She's hideous, man. Y'all can go on physical attributes all y'all want. You can do that all day. I love her mind. I love her thoughts. I love how she could get a bag. That's the kind of thing. That's simping if you're just thinking about, oh yeah, she look, that girl look good. Yeah, she look good. Yeah, I smash. Like, but you don't want to get the intellectual woman, the thoughtful woman, the one that can get you towards a better life in a bag, like Megan Kuniff can. Hold on, I have to get to. Oh my god, I forget how to do this every time. You on YouTube? Okay, so I'm looking at your let me see what you sent. Get out of here with this. We're not. That's way off subject, and I'm not touching anything. Yay. Pause. Yeah, I agree. I need her to be intellectually smart and nice looking. Well, if she's nice looking, that's great. But I'll take the intellectual part over traditional, views of what women should look like. Of course, I like beautiful women. Allegedly. Here goes the emojis. I have no idea what you're laughing at. Are you laughing at my dumb ass? I don't know what you're doing. But anyway, this case is very weird to me because I read an article. It was pretty concise and pretty straightforward and clear, but I still don't get it. Why are rape and sexual assault allegations always criminal? Why are they sometimes civil and why are they sometimes criminal? Like a murder case is never civil, that I understand. I don't think there's ever been a civil case for murder. There's civil cases afterwards. There's civil cases like the O.J. Simpson case. He was found not guilty in a court of the civil case, but then he was found liable in the criminal case. Yeah, in the criminal case, but he was found liable in the civil. So that just makes things weird to me. I don't understand how that even works, but all right. Maybe it's not for me to know. I don't know. Got 4 people in here. We need 6 more people to have a party. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's go. Come on. Get more viewers. Get more money. Let's get this cake. I don't want a piece of the pie. I don't even want the recipe. I want the bakery. I want the corporation that is owned, that the bakery is owned by. God damn. That's what I want. I don't want a piece of the pie. I don't want crumbs. I don't want any. I want the recipe, yes, because that's intellectual property. But I want the bakery and the corporation that owns the bakery. So that's just something for me. All right, so Soulja Boy, I like I said, I've been trying to focus on every other case. I guess I was so focused on the ASAP Rocky case that I didn't. It just slipped by me or something. It's been going on for over 2 weeks, maybe even more. Son of the Sun 90 says, "Yay, crazy, but he's still making good music." Hey, I have no idea. I wouldn't know. I'm not going to even entertain that. So I'll continue with Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, he has the ideas of a man beyond his years. He was probably the first, if not one of the first, millionaires off of YouTube. He channeled his way in the rap world. I want to say hip hop, but I know it's not. It's the rap world, rap arena, and so I think he's made great music. I think Craig that is a hip hop standard. That's always going to be hip hop standard. He has a song called First Day of School on DeAndre Way, his album, and then he has different songs like Pretty Boy Swag and Turn My Swag On and stuff like that. So he's got hits. He definitely has hits. He wasn't a one-hit wonder, for one thing. He never was a one-hit wonder. So you at least give him that amount of leeway. But this is a multi-million-dollar case. $73.6 million. That's a lot of money. I don't think he has that much money. So I don't know how that even works. How do you sue somebody? And I know he's got court case, he's got lawyer fees and probably court fees that he has to pay. So how is that even equating to the amount of money that this woman wants out of him? How does she even come up with that figure? How do those lawyers, oh yeah, we gotta do 73.6. We gotta do 73.6. It's gotta be 73.6. So that'll definitely wipe him out. And it will if the jury deliberates and finds him liable, this will wipe him out. I mean, but I think that also happens and has to have happened in previous cases is that the dollar amount actually shrinks. And I would imagine, but it seems to me, during this case, he has said that she was his. God damn, I'm going too fast. That's why I had some coffee earlier today. I'm jittery, but she was her she was his blunt roller. She was his personal assistant. They entered into a romantic relationship, and it became something further than that. So, and I guess they fell out and they had some kind of altercations. Allegedly, they may have had some abusive incidents. Allegedly, on his by his hand. That's where it gets very goofy because it's like, well, if he did it, then why is he even why is Jane Doe even taking the stand and testifying and saying all these things against him? I mean, she should just be saying he did it. I don't have to say anything, like, right? I mean, sometimes you do. I guess they do that for the jury. The jury says, "Oh, my heart bleeds for her. She was abused. This rapper, this hardcore, gangster rapper." In their minds, they're thinking Soulja Boy's like a gangster rapper for some reason. They're thinking like, "Oh my God, yeah, he's definitely guilty of this. He did this. This is his fault. He's liable. He's liable for all of this." But I don't think that's the case. I don't know. I don't. From what I read and what I surmised, it doesn't look good for him. But he could still become a champion at the end of this trial if he plays his cards right. If his defense can show him to be somebody of good character, not just a productive prowess. Someone that is of good character, good values and ethics and virtues. If he's able to show that, then that is the best way that he can show perform. So again, Megan Kuniff, sexiest woman alive right now. Sexiest woman alive. I'm claiming it right now. She is on her. She does her thing. She takes a train. There's a train that goes from one part of California to where they are now, Santa Monica, I think it is. And she's able to use her laptop. She's all in her. She's using her ability to do that. I don't think they allow cameras in the room. Maybe not. I doubt it. But she's able to sit in the back with her laptop, use the Wi-Fi I guess they have in the courtroom, and just do the damn thing. So I think that's very special. So I think with just the very essence of this court case is the rationality that has to be within the jurors' minds. They have to say beyond a shadow of a doubt that Soulja Boy is completely liable for his actions or alleged actions that took place 5 years ago, 6 years ago. This isn't even like a few years ago. This isn't like 2022, 23. This happened in 2020. He said, I hope you get COVID. He said that. That's something that he did say. You can't, he didn't say allegedly. He said definitely, I hope you get COVID. He told her that. That was during the height of the COVID virus. I'm going to add Miss Kuniff to the stage again.
Emilio Garcia is representing the woman suing Soulja Boy. And he is going to call Soulja Boy as a witness, an adverse witness. Probably it might not be tomorrow.
All right, so this always gets me.
It might not be until Wednesday, but he's going to call him. So, how's it going in there, Soulja Boy?
Oh yeah, those are his words.
But they have a lot of text messages that they've gone over between her and him, and a lot of her text messages. And actually, what was interesting today was the judge actually apologized to the jury for, and it didn't make.
How's it going in there, you think? You gonna testify?
It didn't make her lawyers look good because they were reading his text messages aloud.
I don't know if Megan was trolling or not, but she was asking him if he had what kind of weed he liked to smoke, because he would come out of this SUV, I guess, and he'd be wearing in his clothing, in his suit, he would have the smell of weed on him, and she would ask him, so what kind of weed you like, indicas or sativa? And she was like, I should have asked him about a hybrid. Maybe he would have said something, but he just laughed, and kept moving. He didn't say anything. So this is the weird space that we're in right now. We're in a weird space right now. Very strange. Because Soulja Boy could be, heralded as he could be a genius. I know that word is used over and over, but he called himself even internet genius because it's just the way. I mean, not in the sense of like Isaac Newton or Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or people like that. That are absolute geniuses, that were geniuses in their day. But Albert Einstein, of course. But that I'm just using the word as it's used today. As it doesn't mean much. It just says, "Oh yeah, he's a genius. He's a genius." That's what I mean. So he Soulja Boy can be considered as an internet genius, somebody that revolutionized the way that we consume entertainment and art. That's the best place to put him. But the text messages do not paint a good picture at all. They do not paint a picture of civility. They do not paint a picture of intellectuality. They do not paint a picture of understanding. They don't show any of that. They show none of that. And I think with whatever happens, I think I think the jury actually goes in and delivers tomorrow. I believe that's true. But I just think it's amazing. How did I miss this? How did I miss this case? This is a huge case. Almost $75 million on Soulja Boy's head. But he's smiling, and he's not looking like he's down. He's not looking like he's frightened or afraid. One thing is, it's not a criminal case. If it was a criminal case, it might be a little different. He might be having a different way of expressing himself. He might be more, contrite and contrary and small and hunkered down. But now, he's smiling, laughing, going into the courtroom by himself, not in an entourage, not even with his lawyers or anything. He's going in the door by himself. I mean, how does that even work? How does that even create something that's of value, of worth, of greatness, which he attained. He attained. I mean, there's millions of people who know his name because he earned it. He earned his way into those millions of listeners and viewers, and he has over 1 billion views on YouTube. A feat that's not easily made. I can tell you myself. I can't even get to 500,000 view pages, page views, or video views. So Soulja Boy, he's in a position where he may have did what he, like I said, with Lil Zay Osama. Lil Zay Osama caught himself in a case against his girlfriend, and he's going through it. He's not going through any court cases. He wasn't found guilty of anything, but the closed circuit television didn't help out his case. His case in the minds of the populace. So we have no evidence of that, from what I understand. They only have text messages that have been passed back and forth. There's no evidence of, DNA or, anything like that I know of. I didn't see anything in the case, in the court dockets or anything like that. I just think that it's very difficult to even see through all the nonsense that surrounds him. Soulja Boy has a distinctive following. It's people that are millennials and Gen Z with a few Gen X and maybe in a few baby boomers. They love to hear songs. Crank that. Pretty boy swag and turn my swag on. That's when the word swag was huge back in the day. And thank you for being with me, by the way, because I was rolling, and then it went to 0 viewers, and I was like, I got to keep going. This is the part where you just got to keep fighting. And I fought. I got 3 people viewing me right now, so I appreciate you 3 viewers who are viewing me right now. I appreciate that tremendously, because I had to go for at least, it was a good 5 to 10 minutes where it was a 0, and let it go down to 0 again, It'll come up again. It'll go down and come up again. That's all right. It's the nature of the beast. I understand. But Soulja Boy, DeAndre Cortez Way, Mr. Way is making a bad way. Did you see what I did there? Of himself. He's found himself in a bad way. Yeah. Oh, another pun. He's not making. He didn't make the best choices with the text messages. The text messages may be damning to him. They could be an alarm. She was just a weed roller, an assistant. She was an assistant. She got paid, I think, $200 a week for a few months or something like that out of the year, and then they became romantically involved, and it didn't pan out. And some way, somehow, he allegedly beat her, spit on her, cut her, hit her, struck her, whatever the case may have been. He abused her in some way, and allegedly he raped her. See, this is where I get so confused. Why is this not a criminal case? Sexual assault and rape are crimes. At last time I checked. I don't understand. I read a whole article. I may have to read it again to absorb it even better. But I don't understand why criminal cases do not include sexual assault and rape every time. I don't understand that. It's just like with the Diddy case. He has the civil suits that are sexual assault and rape as well, but they're not crimes. They're not part of his criminal cases. So the same thing goes with Soulja Boy. Why didn't he get part of, why isn't he liable? Or not, I should say liable because he's not found liable yet. But why isn't he part of a criminal case? That's my question. That's just my trying to wade through these waters. Every time I get a case, I'm like, well, I'm scratching my head. I'm like, well, what is this? How did you get from one point to the next when you thought about this? How did that occur? How did that happen? How do you get from point A to point X with one or a few different text messages and things like that? How do you get there? How did you get to that point? That's what I want to know. That's what makes it interesting. That's what this whole case is very interesting. And like I said, it blew up. Why did it blow up? Was it because Rocky? I'm looking at the timestamps. They're showing 2 weeks ago. This happened 2 weeks ago. This happened 2 weeks ago. What? I just heard about this today. This is on the top of the charts for hot new hip hop DX, all hip hop, which should be rap, but not hip hop. And who should have coined that? Who should have profited off the name hip hop? Because you can just use hip hop all day. Hip hop, ho, So I'm just guessing. I'm just trying to make an educated guess on how all this has surfaced. I think the entire culture is so geared toward emotion, not thinking, but emotional states. It's geared towards the idea of thinking about understanding not self and reflection and thought and thinking, and not even at the range of the moment and beyond the range of the moment. You should be rational in every range of the moment, either in the first few seconds or the next few years. You should be always rational. Simple rationale. See, it's back to zero again. And that's why I have to dig out of this hole. But that's all right. I like this. This is good. Matter of fact, let me give you my sponsors. Visit Dot Focus on his YouTube channel and subscribe, like, and comment. If you enjoy Call of Duty and other first-person shooters, You will not be disappointed. Tell them that Silly Sky sent you. That's Dot Focus. Also, LifeStrongApparel.com. Visit that site for your raw sea moss needs. Also, after making your purchases, type in Skyler20 or SKYLER20 as a promo to receive 20% off your purchases. Tell Mr. Peng Silly Sky sent you. And also, visit Beha Jackson's YouTube page and subscribe to learn more about sardines on the grill, fried chicken, near beer, and female strippers. Tell them Silly Sky sent you in the comments. Okay, so I got my my voice is crazy right now. Got my various sponsors on here. Everybody just left. I don't know. I love how this works. This is a weird thing. But Megan Kuniff, let's go back to what she has to say. Add her to the stage.
And apparently they started reading them in like a voice or something. And the judge just said they were reading it in an accent. But the defense objected and he sustained the objection, the judge did. But then today when the jury came in, he actually brought it up again and apologized to the jury and said it was inappropriate on the court's part. Like it made the court look inappropriate to have a lawyer doing that. And he just emphasized that he as the judge should have stepped in sooner to stop it. And I don't know, it didn't make her lawyers look good, but I don't think it's like a clear advantage one way or the other. And I didn't actually hear the voice that the plaintiff's lawyer was reading the text messages and reading Soulja Boy's text messages in, but that happened last week. But here he is going into court. It's a really low budget trial. I mean, it's me and Hillel in the audience. And how's it going in there, you think? You going to testify? Of course he's not. But yes. So they don't think it's going to be over for a while. Probably not until April 2nd next week. I'm definitely going to be there tomorrow for more of her testimony and his testimony too, Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm not sure how much longer I'll be around after that. But I am interested to see what the verdict is going to be on this. I mean, I couldn't tell you either way. The jury is definitely like a cross section of people. There are some like older men on there that like older white men that I'm just like, this has got to be like a completely bizarre testimony for them to be hearing. Like, but then there's, younger women on the jury, that kind of thing. There's kind of a whole mix of them there. So yes. But here. There we go. This is Soulja Boy and his legal team leaving.
Okay.
How's it going in there, Soulja Boy? But yeah, again, he is being sued for sexual assault in a civil lawsuit. There's no criminal charges involved. He's not looking at any kind of jail time, but Soulja Boy is looking at potentially a lot of damages here. They haven't made a damages request. We'll probably hear that in closing argument, but this could be potentially millions and millions of dollars here. And it's just a bad situation with a woman that no dispute she used to work for him. And she's suing under Jane Doe. We don't have her full name.
So Megan Kuniff is explaining how the plaintiff is saying that she worked for Little Twist, that she was in the rap circles within the different communities. I guess she made her way up to Soulja Boy status. I think with he has money, but I don't think his money's that long. I don't know. That's the beautiful thing, though. I don't think Forbes even knows how much money he has. And that's the closest credible source you have. Is Forbes, and like Jay-Z said, they forget to account with it he did with the Raw. Like he's saying that they didn't account for the cocaine he moved, the crack he sold, but he's saying in a sense that they forgot to account for his maybe other dealings and other ways of making money on different sides. He maybe have really quiet money. They forgot to account for that. And that's what I'm sure is with anybody you can think of, any celebrity, any person, any influencer, or anything like that. The money's probably all wrong on those websites. They probably got it all backwards. But with Soulja Boy, I mean, he has the ability to be on a level of, being millionaire status. He has that ability. He has the ability to maintain that status. But it doesn't seem to me that he has $75 million or $73.6 million, nearly $75 million. It appears that he could just, pay. There could be an amount that they're probably going to agree on or something like that. They're like, okay, we'll do $10 million, and he'll be liable for that. But there's no jail time. There's no prison. There's nothing on lockdown. He doesn't have to worry about going to prison or something like that. It's just going to be damages. That's the only thing that's going to be on his head, are the damages. That's it. It's the only thing that's going to be held against him is if this trial goes against his favor, he will be able to, I guess, some kind of money, pay installments, I don't know. He rents a home, a rental space, I should say. I guess he has a rental space that he pays $25,000 a month for. So he's got some kind of money if he's paying $25,000 in rent. He's the first rapper. I'm the first rapper with a video game. I'm the first rapper with whoever made it on YouTube. I'm the first rapper. He's been clowned for saying he's the first rapper to do this and the first rapper to do that. But there's some legitimacy to what he says when he says he's the first rapper to do something. Some of the things are actually true. So you have to remind yourself of that. You have to be in his thinking and his psyche and his thought process, because that's as close as you're going to get to understanding. And I still am trying to figure out, where did I not see this? Why is this now a point of contention? Why is this something that is people are contending against in the press, in the media? I'm gonna look it up right now. Soulja Boy news 2 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 2 days ago, 7 days ago, 22 hours ago, 2 days ago, 6 days ago, 5 days ago, 3 days ago. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about how, this all plays out. How this all, what Miss Kunif was talking about. How, he's going into court. She's asking him, how's it going, Soulja Boy? Just like, just asked him a question. And then there were videos of her asking about what kind of weed he smokes. And he just laughs it off. Because like the people that were, like I said before, the people that were, patting him down and make sure he was all right, and didn't have any weapons on him or anything like that. He was loud. He was loud. So that's something that we have to, definitely keep in mind. And what was she? She was a butt roller. They just had fun and had, consensual sex, as Soulja Boy claimed. That was the extent of it. In his not his word, I guess, in his way of conveying to the jury. I don't think he testified. I don't think he testified, but just in his appearance in court, that's just it. I think Woody Allen, he's problematic, but he may have been the one that coined the phrase. The most important part is just showing up. Right? I kind of chopped that up, but the most sometimes just showing up is the best part of doing anything. He could have been late. He could have been totally out of his mind on perkies or something like that. He might have hit a blunt a little bit because weed is legal in California, so it's not like he could get pressed for that. So that's the reality behind what Soulja Boy is facing right now. He's definitely finding himself in quite the rough edges of being in these kind of situations. It's a sad shame that he has to experience this, but if he did it, then he should be found guilty. Well, not guilty, liable. Excuse me. Guilty is a criminal term. Liable for the damages. The damages are $75 million, nearly $75 million, 73.6 to be exact. And I think that's the reason why I picked up, because they just came out with the number. I'm confused about that. Did they just come out with a number? $73.6 million? I thought they did that earlier. I swear these cases confuse me. I have to make sure I know my research and I know what I'm talking about. That's why I have Megan to hold me down. Let's see what she says.
She'd worked for other rappers before she got in with Soulja Boy, and he hired her as an assistant. But let me pull up one of Hillel's stories. He's been there again. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I was just out in court in Santa Monica today. I took the E-line actually out from downtown and spent the day in Mark Epstein's courtroom. I'll probably be there tomorrow and Wednesday too. He's great. He lets us use our laptops in court, so can't go wrong with that, Judge. But Hillel was there last week and wrote some more stories than I did. Again, I was out in Santa Monica today for Soulja Boy's trial. Soulja Boy is on trial being sued for sexual assault by a former employee who is just going by Jane Doe here, but this is my friend Hillel's story. So his Soulja Boy's real name is DeAndre Cortez Way, and she says she was hired as a personal assistant. She held the job for 2 years, but she was subject to numerous instances of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. She was promised $500 a week for working 20 hours per day, 7 days a week. Even as a romantic relationship developed between the two of them, he says he kicked her, punched her, spat on her. The complaint also claims he raped her. Like, there was a lot of the testimony on that was pretty tough. But like I said, she's still on the stand. She was on the stand today for all day. She was the witness. The cross exam started after lunch. It started at the trial started at 10:30 and goes to like noon, and then they were back at like 1:45, and cross started then and went for until 4:30 or so. It's really slow going. Like it's definitely like a low rent trial. The Santa Monica courthouse is not the most glamorous place, and the courtroom is one of these outside courtrooms. And it's just me and Hillel in the audience in the afternoon. But, How's it going in there, you think? You going to testify?
So
The plan is that her lawyers are going to call him as a witness, I guess, maybe tomorrow or the day after that. So call him as an adverse witness to testify. But again, this is just a civil trial. It's not a criminal case. So he's not facing any threat of like jail time, prison time, anything like that. It'd be a big monetary damages fine if anything. That's like the worst case scenario for him. So it's not going to be over this week. It'll probably be over April 2nd. So we'll see what happens with.
All right, so that was Megan Kuniff, sexiest woman in America. All right, so what I got was this, Soulja Boy's tainted now. I mean, it's like once you get bit by a snake, even if you survive the snake bite, the snakes are gonna be snakes. Snakes are good. They're just animals. They're not good or bad. They're just animals. They just live, and if you're bitten, that's because you threaten them. You were on their space, and then it comes back at you, and you're like, "Damn, I got a rape, and a sexual assault, and all these abuse ideas thrown at me." They're not charges. I'm trying to think of what they are. He's not charged with anything, but he can be found liable for all these things. And no matter what he does in the future. So I'm like, well, he did go to court for whatever happened. If he wins or loses, he did go to court for sexual assault and rape. And I mean, just if he can't do it again, he can't do this again. Same thing with A$AP Rocky. He can't do anything else that comes close to what happened to him in that courtroom, or for the reason why he was in that courtroom. He just can't. You just can't. That's how it comes down to it. So this Soulja Boy case could be done within the next few days, I think, or at least a week or something like that. I'm still trying to figure out how this all could be played out. Still trying to figure out how all this could be played out. So it's a very, very delicate situation. See how it's regarding a female. She's regarded as a person that knew Soulja Boy and continued to be his friend, quote unquote. She was his blunt roller essentially. He was an assistant. She was an assistant to him, a personal assistant. And things went left. Things just went left. And what was the point where he said all these things on the text like that? His texts aren't going to help him. They will not help him at all. They will not, look good upon him. They will not shine a light upon him. They're going to keep him in the dark for the most part. They're going to keep him very, constrained because of the fact that he took to his emotions over thought. And that's what you can't do. Emotions are important. They are extremely important. They're extremely viable and necessary for life. They let you know your values. If you're angry or something, you're going to show anger. And that could be thought. You could think about something and be angry about it. You be happy. And you can show your mirth, your joy. And that could be a state of happiness, the emotion. And it's part of thought. But what you can't do is put emotion before thought. That's where we get into trouble. When you use emotion before thought, that's where you have the worst degree of humanity. Because you're not thinking. Like I said, thinking, then emotion, thought. It's that simple. It's very elementary. It's very elementary. So I think Soulja Boy He may not have thought. Let's say that. He may not have thought. I'm not sure. They're deliberating. They're going over it probably right now because it's like 3, almost 4 o'clock right now. So I think, we have to really take into account the fact that Soulja Boy, despite all his accolades, all his awards, all his money that he may have or may not have, we have to evaluate the facts. We have to. I want. That's why I want. I don't know if they say evidence. I don't know if they say. I might misstep when I said evidence or hardcore. DNA, whatever the case may be, because they may not view it as such. They may not view all that as such. They may do. They may have it, but it comes down to testimony. She was on the Jane Doe was on the stand. She opted for an ideal for showing her truth. She was showing the truth. I'm saying, but showing how she can convey the truth. That was her way of showing the truth. But I don't know if Soulja Boy is testifying or not. I don't think he may not take the stand like ASAP Rocky never took the stand. We still are waiting on that to come out. So, that's the issue that we all face. That's the issue that we all face. We have to be vigilant and on guard at all times, no matter what, because it could blow up in our faces. You think you're doing the something right now, and it'll never happen. It'll never come out to the light, but it may come out from the shadows. It may come out from the shadows, and the light may be shown upon it. And that's not going to save you. Glasses and your suit aren't going to save you. It didn't save Tupac. He went to prison. He went to jail. He went to jail. He was wearing glasses in the courtroom. That did not go well. I mean, they say, oh yeah, the glasses make you look more thoughtful, more intellectual, make you look like you're a thinker. Doesn't always help. Doesn't always work. So even with the fact that he had the glasses on and he had the suit and tie, of course, that's just standard attire for a courtroom. Black and white, suit, maybe a cream suit if you're ASAP Rocky and Joey Tacopina, Joey Taco. That's the reality of it. That's what's so that's what rings so true with these court cases. You're gonna find that. You're gonna find it no matter what. I think Eminem I think wore glasses. That's what they tell him. It's a weird thing. It's like the jury knows something in your mind. You're like, I know he ain't wearing them glasses just to wear them. But then you're like, oh man, maybe he's a great reader. Maybe he does have some kind of thinking. He has some kind of level of intelligence. It's all mind game. It's all a mind game. That's all this is. It's a mind game to try to trick you into understanding, something that's complete BS. They don't even have prescription glasses all the time. From Tupac to Eminem to TK, ASAP Rocky, and Soulja Boy and so many others. They tell them, wear glasses, wear glasses. Jeffrey Williams, Young Thug. Yeah, wear glasses. That'll let them know you're a deep thinker. You're an intellectual. You're somebody that could be trusted. It's a weird thing. It's weird. It's like everybody knows, but we all have to see. That was the main thrust behind allhiphop.com's evaluation of this case. They're saying that he's accused of wearing fake prescription glasses. He probably has 20/20 vision, but something about the glasses, like in Cambodia, people were killed for wearing glasses because that they were considered intellectual or thoughtful. That was a part of the Khmer Rouge. You were killed just because of the way you look. But I think Soulja Boy is beyond, any of that. He's on trial, for mainly damages and money, and we'll see how far he gets. I'd like to thank everybody that came in. I have 0 viewers right now. We'll have to go back and rebroadcast land to see how many I get. So I appreciate everybody. I should be back around the same time. Thank you very much. Take care.